Have you ever felt like the world is constantly shouting at you? The endless news updates, the pressure to succeed, the fear of falling behind. It's like living inside a storm that never stops. And yet, there are people who walk through this chaos differently. They don't get rattled by headlines. They don't lose their minds when plans collapse. They don't get dragged down by other people's moods. Instead, they stand calm, unshaken, almost untouchable. What's their secret? It isn't money. It isn't power. It isn't luck. It's something far more ancient and far more powerful. A forgotten philosophy, reborn for the modern world. It's called Stoicism. And once you understand how it works, it changes everything. Your stress, your relationships, even how you see yourself. Modern life feels advanced, connected, and full of opportunities. But here's the hidden truth. For most of us, it's a trap. Think about it. Every morning before your feet even touch the floor, you grab your phone. In seconds, your brain is flooded with breaking news, endless notifications, and pictures of other people living their perfect lives. By the time you even get out of bed, you're already behind, already comparing, already anxious. And it doesn't stop there. Work expects constant availability. Friends expect instant replies. Society expects you to look successful, happy, and flawless 24/7. No wonder you feel exhausted. No wonder your mind never stops racing. But here's the dangerous part. The more noise you let in, the more disconnected you become from yourself. You don't hear your own thoughts anymore. You're too busy drowning in everyone else's. That's why Stoicism hits so hard in today's world, because it gives you something rare, the ability to step back, to silence the noise, and to finally ask what actually matters. Over 2,000 years ago, the world wasn't that different. Wars, politics, plagues, corruption. People were stressed, uncertain, and desperate for control. And out of that chaos came a group of thinkers, the Stoics. Men like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. But here's the thing. Stoicism wasn't about sitting in temples or memorizing theories. It was about survival. It was about thriving in a world you couldn't control. At its core, Stoicism's built on one radical idea. You can't control what happens around you, but you can always control how you respond. Think about that. You can't stop the rain. You can't stop your boss from yelling. You can't stop the world from throwing chaos at you. But you can decide, do I lose my temper? Do I crumble under stress? Or do I remain steady, calm, and in control of myself? That's the real power of Stoicism. It doesn't give you control over the world, it gives you control over yourself. And in a noisy, chaotic age like ours, that's the ultimate superpower. Fast forward to today. We may not be facing Roman emperors or gladiator arenas, but our battles are just as real. You wake up, check your phone, and within 5 minutes, you're drowning in news of disasters, arguments on social media, and a never-ending to-do list. Your mind is already racing before your feet hit the floor. Here's where Stoicism comes alive. Imagine this. Your boss snaps at you in a meeting. Your old self might spiral. How dare they talk to me like that? Maybe I'm not good enough. Should I quit? But the Stoic self, they take a breath. They remind themselves, I can't control their mood. I can only control my response. And instead of reacting with anger or self-doubt, they stay calm, steady, and focused. Or take relationships. A friend cancels plans last minute. Instead of feeling rejected or furious, you think, that's outside my control. My peace isn't dependent on their choices. So you free yourself from resentment before it even begins. Even traffic, something as small as being stuck in a jam. Most people rage, honk, and ruin their whole day. A Stoic? They turn up their music, breathe, and realize the traffic isn't in their hands, but their inner state is. See, that's the beauty of Stoicism. It doesn't remove the chaos. It transforms your relationship to it. Suddenly, you're not a puppet pulled by every string of emotion, every headline, every insult. You're the one holding the strings. And when you live like that, you become unshakable.
Philosophy isn't about sitting in a library, stroking your beard, and thinking abstract thoughts. The Stoics designed their wisdom to be used in the marketplace, at home, in politics, in war. So let's make this practical. Here are 3 powerful Stoic practices you can start today that can change how you respond to life's chaos. The core idea is simple. There are only 2 categories of things in the world: the things you control, the things you don't. Most of us spend 90% of our energy fighting the second category. Think about it. Traffic, other people's opinions, the past, the weather. These are things you can't control, yet we let them eat us alive. Now imagine this. You're stuck in traffic, already late for a meeting. You can pound the steering wheel, curse at the cars, stress your heart rate through the roof. Or you can breathe, accept that you can't change the traffic, and instead focus on what's in your control. Maybe that's using the time to rehearse your presentation. Maybe it's calling ahead to let them know you're running late. Maybe it's just protecting your peace of mind. That one choice, shifting focus to what you can control, is like reclaiming your freedom from the chaos of the world.
Now, this one sounds dark at first. Imagine losing the things you love. The Stoics practiced this daily. In the morning, they'd remind themselves, this day might be my last. My friend may not always be here. My fortune could vanish overnight. Why would they do this? Not to make themselves miserable, but to sharpen their appreciation of life as it is. Here's the paradox. When you imagine losing your job, you show up to work more grateful. When you imagine your partner gone, you treat them with more tenderness. When you imagine that today could be your last, even your morning coffee feels sacred. And here's the second benefit. When bad things do happen, you're ready. You've already rehearsed the loss in your mind. It doesn't break you the same way it breaks others. It's not pessimism, it's mental armor. The day passes fast. We're so caught in survival mode that we rarely stop to reflect. The Stoics ended each day with a practice, journaling. But this wasn't, "Dear Diary, today was boring." It was a hard, honest look at themselves. 3 questions to ask each night. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short of my values? How can I do better tomorrow? Imagine this. Today you lost your patience in traffic. You write it down. Tomorrow, when you feel the anger rise again, something clicks. You catch yourself.
You choose calm instead of rage. That's the power of reflection. It trains your awareness. And over weeks, months, years, your character changes. You start to notice you're calmer, wiser, less reactive. Not because the world changed, but because you did.
So, 3 simple tools. Control what you can, release what you can't. Visualize loss to deepen gratitude and resilience. Reflect nightly to sharpen your awareness. On paper, they look almost too simple, but practice daily. These tools become like training weights for the mind. You don't just survive life's challenges, you dominate them.
So here's the truth. The world isn't getting quieter. It's only getting louder. More notifications, more pressure, more noise. And yet, within that chaos, you now carry something rare. A philosophy. A way of life that has outlasted empires, wars, and centuries. Stoicism isn't about rejecting emotions or living cold and detached. It's about learning to live with strength, to anchor yourself so deeply that no storm can pull you away. Remember the tools. Focus on what you control and release the rest. Visualize loss, not to suffer, but to love more deeply what you have. Reflect daily so you can shape your character into something unshakable. This is what it means to unlock your inner philosopher. Not to escape the world, but to meet it with calm eyes and steady hands. So, the next time life throws chaos at you, stop, breathe, ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, act with courage. If no, let it go. That simple choice is where your freedom lives. And freedom is the greatest power you'll ever have. Now, if this message resonated with you, remember, this isn't just a video. It's the beginning of a new way of seeing life. So, hit subscribe, join this movement of modern philosophers, and let's keep building a life of wisdom, calm, and resilience together. And tell me in the comments, what's the first thing you'll start applying from Stoicism in your own life? Because wisdom only matters when it's lived.